I don't really have friends, and I don't play online games as they don't really interest me. One of the only friends I have decided to exchange gifts before we go to dinner for the holiday season. I got a $30 PlayStation card and Crash Team Rumble. I never cared for the Crash Bandicoot franchise. The last game I played was the racing game for PlayStation 4, and I also got it for Switch for a birthday gift. And when I found out it was announced, I thought it was cool, but never really thought much of it. And the fact that my friend got me the game, it piqued my interest. I put around 4 hours and I thought it was pretty good. He mentioned it was a Fall Guys clone, but it felt more like Splatoon than anything. Instead of covering the ground with ink, you would collect Wumpa Fruit in a 4v4 matchup. There's also interactive elements as well to help give your team an advantage, and as a whole, it's a fun game. But this isn't about Crash Bandicoot, it's about the over-competitive online gaming market. This game was developed by Toys for Bob and Activision. Activision is known for making a profit and making endless money with series such as Call of Duty and the Overwatch franchise, showing that this is their culture. This means battle passes and emphasis on microtransactions are what most players are met with when playing their games. The price for Crash Team Rumble is around $30 to $35, which is odd since we are seeing most of their games go for free or the new standard price for AAA software. Multiplayer experiences are pretty popular online and is a good way to help spread the word about the game. And one thing we are recently experiencing is a rise on games such as Among Us and Lethal Company, games made by smaller studios or creators that have found themselves in one of the biggest success stories in the industry. People are constantly getting tired of the constant bullshit that Activision and other companies are facing, whether it's bad business decisions to just bad games as a whole, with the constant push for live service content after Fortnite became popular. But how does this relate to the Crash Bandicoot game I mentioned? Activision saw a potential profit machine in the classic series that was popular back when the PlayStation 1 was still a thing. And while the new games are successful, it's not world famous and will never reach the brand recognition of Mario and Sonic. Compared to other live service games, you can still play it as of the making of this video, but when it was first released, most people likely forgot the game existed as there were other stuff to play. And for those who did play it, most people I talked to said they stopped playing after a day. The game as a whole has no real drive for you to play it unless you care for the franchise and want to do another battle pass. So in conclusion, the game in the big picture isn't special, but it shows that there's too much competition for multiplayer games and people will use their time wisely on whatever people are playing. Crash Team Rumble isn't bad and I do think it can be pretty fun, but because of how Activision forced this game to exist for a more competitive market for online multiplayer content, I don't think it could survive the big picture, but at least I could see it had a fan base to fall back on. They put Spiral the Dragon in to appease the shareholders.